Hey, thanks for joining me. Travis from the Knife Joker. Tonight, coming at you with another, well, semi-new knife, Spyderco Native Chief C244 GP. Yeah, the Native Chief, made in the USA. Yep, this new model based on the Native lineup, obviously Native Chief. And this one I've had for a little while, been using it for a little while and carrying it. As you see, the clip moved from the factory position already. Just looking at the knife from in the closed position, that normal, kind of a normal Spyderco G10 black, that unobtrusive round back that the Native's been known for, kind of a symmetrical look on the top and the back. Let's open that baby up. Here's that lock back come in. CPM S30V blade. Golden, Colorado. I mean, right off the bat, well, besides my finger marks there, has been my user. You see, you know, the quality. I could see the grind lines, the jimping just looks super sharp and well done, and it is pretty parallel all the way up, which, you know, sometimes they're not. And you can see on this one, and they've done this on a few models where the jimping actually starts there on the lock bar and then continues on the blade, to where sometimes those aren't parallel, and pretty parallel there. Of course, doing my normal video, just jumping from thing to thing, no real set world order that I do things in. Just trying to get a really, get a shot of that tip. And that's one thing that stands out when you see the Native Chief, is just that the tip, so acute, so precise and sharp, pointy, so to speak. Knife with a pointy tip. Imagine, but yeah, super needle tip. The only other knife that kind of reminds me of, and well, this coming out in 2019, I was looking at the Spyderco prototypes and saw in 1999 Spyderco Native Chief. It had a swedge, so for 20 years this model has just been sitting there on the shelf, the design of it. And the original design, maybe had the original prototype that I saw, I don't know if there was more than one, but the one prototype of it in 1999 that I saw had that swedge sort of like this, you know, on the Native Chief blade. This just being not a Native Chief, obviously, but just brought it out to compare with the swedge. And then the Native Chief came out, and some people that knew about that prototype said, "Oh, where's the swedge?" But you know, I'm not missing it. Some people think the full flat grind is just too boring. The swedge is pretty interesting, but overall, I haven't missed it one bit, at least not yet. I mean, maybe in the future they'll bring out a swedged Native Chief. We'll see where the model goes. I mean, there's been one version of it so far, and will other versions come out? You know, other steels and other G10 colors and so forth. You know, that's all in the future. We'll find out. Depends on the popularity of it. Really, I would think probably yes, but I mean there have been other models that have come out and probably didn't sell that great, and then well, not only are they gone, but no sprint runs came out of them. So not sure, what makes one model way more popular than the other, besides just the great design and so forth. First thing I did, and maybe a lot of people do. Sure, I'm not the first video on this, and even Eric Glesser made a video about the Native Chief, which, my video won't be better than his, but it's a big blade. The first thing, a lot of people bring it out that military and say, well, what's the difference here, and how big is it, and so forth. And I know probably every single person's done this in their video. Compared these two side by side. I mean, obviously there's more belly on the military, more of a hump on the military. You got more of a taller handle on the military, and of course that big hump there on the back. So overall, let's check these handles. I think the handle length, and sure I'm not the first person to do this, that'd be a little bit shorter on the Native Chief, just barely. Just a little bit of a different shape too. Well, I mean, obviously. One of the huge differences, and well, that besides that hump on the back, is the hump on the top. The PM2, the Para 3, PM3, the military, they're all known for that hump there on the back, and it could be very useful, or it could be just maybe in your way, depending on how you want to hold the knife. So once again, that's that beauty of the Native line, is the no hump. No hump is kind of the Native thing. Here's a Native 5. You see that, once again, no hump. Another thing I was thinking about is, well, the Endura 4. I love the Endura 4 and carry it a lot, and so how about compared to the Endura 4? Of course, sure, every single person that reviewed this has done this exact same thing, but that Native Chief is a little bigger, closer to the military, but not quite. Right in between the military and the Native Chief, I'd kind of say. Obviously, different lock here on the military. So 2 lockbacks here, side by side, and blade isn't super different, but yeah, that tip on the Native Chief is definitely more acute, more of a needle tip, and you don't have that hump. Well, of course, you have the finger choil. A lot of people said they wish the Endura had a finger choil, and well, there you go, finger choil. I don't know, that thing, people, you love it or you don't love it, I don't know. Seki City, Japan, there it is. And, well, Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. And, FRN G10 thing. Of course, I do have, there's not probably a lot around, but my favorite knives, this G10 Endura. It's more comparable here. A little different steel and hump and all that, different knife. That's true, but it's good to see them side by side, that Native being a little bit bigger, and now that I've been carrying it, yeah, But you, oh, well, got that clip moved. Again, for the tip down, I don't know, I kind of combo carry maybe, put that in my left pocket, and the clip's comfortable there, well, on the Endura. Also, found that out on this. Native Chief, yeah, it's pretty good on the tip down carry. Spyderco has said, large knife works well tip down, and a small knife works better tip up, and I do agree. I agree with them. I forget exactly where they said that. Gotta admit, putting that clip there, well, that hole is made for the lanyard hole. But when you do put it there, it looks a little funny. It looks a little misaligned. It's not made to back the screw out with the clip on there. It could just be solid if you're gonna carry it that way, but there it would cover your lanyard hole. So just looks a little goofball just in that one aspect of being lined up sideways on the screw there. I mean, I'm perfectly thrilled with the Native Chief since really the moment I saw it online to the second I got it in hand to holding it now and every moment in between. Is it perfect? Sure. It's perfect, you know what you're working with. Possibly combo carry. I know this is S30V super needle point, and that's what I use it for. To where, if I want more of a stout tip, possibly grab the Shaman, and it's going to have, pretty stout tip there to work with, or maybe even, like a Riot Torrent or New Torrent, the tip just being super stout. So something like this, a little thicker behind the edge, not as great of a slicer, but to combo carry with, you have your thick pointed maybe pry bar knife or whatever, and your thinner hair shaver splinter getter, get in that little crack area. Native Chief. Just kind of the way I carry a lot of times. Left pocket, right pocket. Two different knives. Sometimes the same knife if I'm really stuck in a certain way, but let's check these out. I get a better shot of them if I can. Of course, the closest knife's gonna look bigger, so it'll be a deceiving shot, but it'll still a semi-decent shot of them there side by side. Maybe throw this one in there instead. Boy, I like those knives. I like big knives, personally. I guess a large size hand or whatever, so, if the military is just too big, especially in the handle area, or if you don't like the liner lock, or for whatever reason you want a needle tip, you gotta try that Native Chief. If you do like big knives, no hump. See this Native Chief besides some other natives. A Native 5. It's gonna be a smaller knife, way smaller. What's that? Shaman. It's in between there. Of course, the Shaman hasn't been out too long either. Another no hump knife right in that lineup. Maybe the granddaddy and the daddy and the son and the whatever, the brother. Another Native 5. No humped back Spyderco. A lot of Spydercos are known for that hump, but people like the no hump, and I like both. I like the no hump. Gotta admit it. Of course, that little native to make round it out, which hasn't been out too long either. So the native lineup has just fully expanded. Of course, the native, native 5? So there's a native, native 2, native 3, 4, 5, and all the variations. Been a lot of natives made, and now the whole lineup has expanded. Of course, I could have they make this in the lockback version too, the little native. In the lockback version, which would probably, line up better here, but not this compression lock one. There they are. Native lineup. Let's see how much this thing weighs. Really, how long is it? Well, what does it weigh? I think it's about a 4-inch-ish blade. I'm sure it's 4-inch-ish. If I use that term, you get away with a lot of things. It looks to be about 4 1/4 inches. No, 4 1/8 or so. Overall, look at this. What, discoordinated. Little bit over 9 inches, maybe 9 inches. We already saw them all side by side. Let's see what this thing weighs. I mean, the weight doesn't usually mean that much to me. It's good to know to compare things side by side, but I'm gonna have to guess. I'll just guess. I'll guess 4.1. But it's 3.95, which now you can say under 4 ounces as like a marketing term or something. Yeah, under 4 ounces. So spectacular weight. A lot lighter than the Shaman, but probably heavier than this native. I didn't weigh it. Got more blade there. Another thing, maybe to look at this side by side, but I did bring this out a minute ago. That Mannix back lock, it didn't stick around long, and I said I'd like bigger knife with kind of that no hump. Now Mannix doesn't have a huge hump, Mannix 2, and the native has even less of a hump there. It's funny, this one didn't stick around too long. There's a similar design that jimping, and they've started to do this a lot. Like I said, if I would have had the back lock here of the same version, it might be a linerless one. I don't have it here to show you. This one's linerless. It's kind of something they started doing, and it's worked real well. So yeah, this Native Chief being linerless inside, and like I said, I believe they have the little native that's linerless. Of course, the compression lock one isn't. I wish I had it here. But 2 great back locks right there. Of course, this one's now discontinued. It had a smoother G10 too. Not to get too sidetracked, just good to see that next to some other knives, maybe. Like, if you're into other brands, it's about a 4-inch knife. This is 3.9 inch K2, and the K1 was not quite as big, 3.8 inches or so. But you see that Native Chief being a little bigger than the K1, and even just a hair bigger than the K2 there. Overall, just pretty thrilled with this Native Chief. Will more versions come out? Um, God, I have to say absolutely yes. You know, when and who will be first, what will be, I don't know, I don't know. I can't see how anybody wouldn't like this knife. You know, what's funny, it just gets me sometimes. I don't know, it could happen. You don't know. People see this come out and they're like, oh, well, it's only S30V and black G10, so I'll just wait for the sprint run to come out. So it's probably not going to happen, but it's possible that, let's just say, 85% of the people are going to go, all right, well, I'm going to wait for the sprint run to come out, and then these don't sell well. So could be like this Mannix backlock. This one probably didn't sell well because it's a backlock, and people think a Mannix should be a whatever. I don't know, or they were thinking, well, I'm gonna wait for the S90V version or the green version or whatever, the blue, and well, discontinued. So I'm just saying, if you like a knife, if you like a model, buy it. And then when the new versions come out, you can get them. Where, I don't know how true it is. It has to be absolutely true to where, if 95% of people go, I'll wait for the sprint run, guess what? No sprint runs. Just saying. I don't know, it's been a thought in my mind for a while. So that's about it. That's about it for the Native Chief. If you do want to see more about these Native Chiefs, you can check them out at theknifejoker.com. Otherwise, there it is, that new model, the C244. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time.